In the shadow of the world's tallest mountain, sleepy climbers are receiving a morning wake-up call.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you.
When Mount Everest was first climbed in 1953, some Sherpas were angry and feared that there would be no more expeditions and therefore no more jobs. How could they have known that half a century later they'd be delivering tea to a new generation of climbers? Sherpas are the indispensable men of these mountains. Few expeditions would get far without their help, but their contribution has largely been overlooked. There's even confusion about what the word Sherpa means.
Actually, Sherpa is one of the caste from Nepal. Like me, my name is Tashi Sherpa. So everybody have last name is Sherpa. That's our family name, you know. So most of the people, the Western people thinks Sherpa means porter. No, this is not wrong. You know, only on mountaineering there is Sherpa means porter, but Sherpa is the caste.
He is Sherpa. Nobody got his name.
This is base camp, 5,200 metres above sea level.
So you have to go a long way today. So we'd send this later by yak.
In order to find out more about the contributions Sherpas have made to climbing in the Himalayas, I've joined a commercial expedition to the north side of Mount Everest in Tibet. I'll spend nearly a month on the mountain, climbing the 27 kilometres from base camp to advanced base camp, and then to the North Col, which is only 1,500 metres from the summit itself. There are 20 foreign climbers on this expedition, and the ratio of Sherpas to paying clients here is 1:1. The foreigners pay $6,500 US each for the trip to the North Col. An expedition to the summit costs $35,000 US.
It's a very dangerous sport. Why do you think the Westerners come here?
It is very difficult to say, you know. I don't know why. Somebody really like to go on the top of the world, and they come many times, you know. Not one time, not two times. They want to make summit for many times, and sometimes I think they are crazy. If we don't have like these people, then we have no jobs, you know. We need more people. So I don't know, it's very difficult to understand.
The foreigners will need to spend a week at base camp, adjusting to the altitude before they can climb higher. Meanwhile, after performing Buddhist rites at a stupa they've built, the Sherpas will head further up the mountain to set up higher camps. The expedition leader is New Zealander Russell Bryce. He's been travelling to the Himalayas for 30 years, and this is his 14th trip to Everest.
You know, by coming here for so many years, I've had quite a lot of experience with the Sherpas. These are my family, really, and I've been working with some of the same Sherpas. Some of them have been 22 expeditions with me, so we know them pretty well. They know me pretty well.
After acclimatising at base camp, the rest of the expedition moves 26 kilometres up the Rombuk Glacier to the advanced base camp. The climb itself is not difficult, but up here at 6,500 metres, the air is only half the density of sea level, and the body begins to succumb to the effects of altitude. Most foreign climbers will experience symptoms of acute mountain sickness, dizziness, nausea, loss of balance, persistent coughing and sleeplessness. Initially, they can do little but rest and force down as much food and liquid as possible. Each climber needs 7 litres of water a day to stay hydrated at this altitude. The Sherpas busy themselves preparing food and water in difficult conditions.
What's for lunch today, Tashi?
French fry and fresh bread. Chips and chips.
Tashi Sherpa has been working on expeditions since he was 14 years old.
You make the bread from scratch?
Yeah, it's in the oven here.
Wow.
He's moved his way up the ranks from porter to cook boy and to head cook.
Mostly I have to cook. I'm trying to cook very good foods, but I don't know how do they like. Sometimes it's good, you know. On the base camp below 5,000 meters is good to cook. It's very good, easy to cook. But over 6,000 meters, we are now 6,300 meters. So everything is frozen. It takes time to cook and not very good. What exactly we want to serve, we cannot serve sometimes. So.
For most Sherpas, expedition work means they will be away from their families for at least 1/3 of every year, with little or no contact. Tashi has a wife and 2 young sons across the border in Nepal.
Every 1 year we will be away from home for 4 months, spring 2 months and autumn 2 months. So that period we don't know with each other what is happening, what is the condition of, you know. We don't send a letter, we don't have telephone to call them. So after when we get back to Kathmandu, then we know how are we now.
Your family?
Yeah, with our family, we'll know only at that time when we meet with each other.
Yeah.
We miss them.
Yeah, you miss them?
Yeah.
The Himalayas are the Sherpas' spiritual home. They perform Buddhist rites on every expedition to ask for safe passage on the mountain. They believe that Mount Everest, their mother goddess of the earth, should be approached with humility.
Mountain in Buddhist religion, so the mountains are God. Before we step on the God, we make a pray with the God. Sorry, but we're stepping on you, on the body of the God.
Tashi says that some foreign climbers don't show the proper respect for the mountain they've come to conquer.
Sometimes, you know, they like we are very cold, you know. Sometimes they want to take a picture naked, you know, near the mountain. That's very bad. We think these are unlucky people, very bad people, we think. And sometimes They don't care about the mountains. No, this is only mountain or something else. They never think God. This is our God. Himalaya is God. The God living place, you know. God's house.
But most of the time, the Juma will be doing the work. Right. Okay.
It's not been lost on the Sherpas that Western clients often forget their enormous contribution to mountaineering.
Do not let somebody else unclip you for them to go past. Okay.
Most of the European people doesn't want to show they got a help from the Sherpas. They want to show, you know, they have done by themselves. Last year we were with the movie group, filming group. Everything done by the Sherpa, but they never show on the movie Sherpa, even one faces.
The expedition now moves further up the mountain, where the climbing becomes much more difficult because of the altitude. But I'm not alone. My 28-year-old climbing partner, Dorje, shoulders my pack, leaving me to carry only my camera and tripod. Sherpas are renowned for their aptitude at high altitude. They breathe larger volumes of air per minute than their sea level counterparts, and also have higher concentrations of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the blood. However, this has created an unrealistic generalisation that all Sherpas will perform equally at altitude.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I think most people that come here seem to think that all Sherpas are very, very strong and superhuman and can run to the summit of the mountain and so on. And that's about it, really. I don't think they immerse themselves very much into their culture or their families, who's sick, who's not sick, who's capable of going high, who can't go high. So to most people that come, everyone's a Sherpa who's superhuman, but that's not true.
Sherpas have paid a disproportionately high price for their association with this mountain. Many more Westerners have climbed Everest than Sherpas, but Sherpas make up almost half of all recorded fatalities. Contrary to popular opinion, Western commercial expeditions have actually improved conditions for Sherpas, but there are always exceptions.
I'm totally amazed at how badly some of the expeditions treat Sherpas. I think some of the bigger companies that use a lot of Sherpas and sell very cheap expeditions, I don't look after their Sherpas at all. I've had an example where a Sherpa was very sick and I gave him oxygen and I paid for him to go back to Kathmandu, and I go to the company to say, well, you know, you should pay for this, and they say, why did you interfere? They were quite happy for him to die, and that's incredibly sad as far as I'm concerned.
We're now at the North Col of Everest, 7,200 metres above sea level, which is as far as my climbing permit will take me. Up here our brains and lungs have swollen significantly. Some need oxygen to survive this high. 2 members of my team have already succumbed to the altitude and will not make it to this point. The summit towers 1,500 metres above us and seems incredibly close. But for those pushing on, there's still at least 3 days of climbing to reach the top. As the other North Col climbers begin to arrive, I realise the extent to which the Sherpas demonstrate both patience and strength in assisting their clients. Choco Shimada is a real estate agent from Japan, and she's in training. Next season she hopes to reach the summit.
Come on, Chaco, you're nearly there.
Climbing Everest has been a lifelong dream for David Eaton from England. At the age of 69, he's achieved an amazing feat in making it this far, but clearly he wouldn't have got here without his Sherpa guide pulling him up the last section. It turns out I've also been in good company. My guide Dorje has achieved a feat not shared by many Western climbers.
My place is Portugal. Last year, twice, that's all. Yeah.
I quickly realise I'm surrounded by climbing legends, men who've scaled many of the world's tallest mountains, but whose names are probably unknown outside of Nepal and Tibet.
My name is Tashi Sherpa. I live in Solukhumbu in Portugal. I'm climbing Mount Everest this time also, and last year, many years ago, I'm 4 times Everest summit and Choyu 5 times, 1 time Manasalu.
Wow. And I'm not the only one in awe of their efforts.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no way I could get up there without this lad. Carrying the pack and just switching round all the aid at the anchor points. Truly amazing. Thank you, Tim Deakin.
Most men are coming. Okay.
You're a star!
Movie star!
With our mission to the North Col accomplished, the Sherpas continue their work, preparing camp for the final summit push.
So, not only does he drag my bloody bags up here, but he also makes me a cup of tea.
It sounds incredible, but despite 80 years helping foreigners climb their mountains, the very idea of climbing is still a strange concept for Sherpas.
This is our job, our work. We have to work on the mountain. So sometimes we think why they are coming here. They expend a lot of money for the mountain, and they get trouble sometimes. It's crazy sometimes, I think. But if we don't have like these people, we have no job.